Welcome to Collecting Consciousness, where we aim to capture the ever-expanding and evolving conscious creations that originate from the minds of fellow podcasters, strangers, dear friends, and loved ones.
In this podcast, we will expand on our inner wisdom and a coming home to self. From our conscious minds to yours, we welcome you to the Collecting Consciousness. Welcome into another episode of Collecting Consciousness. We are continuing on our Burlesque series, and today we are so excited to introduce our new guest. So welcome in, everybody, and let's hear who we have to introduce. Welcome in Audrey Belanger, pronouns of she, her. Audrey is an empathetic soul who loves to emphasize her bubbly, kind, and sociable nature. Her Acadian heritage runs thick in her genes. A queer woman living a feminist life, also an auntie in her family. Her arts include pole dancing, along with her burlesque arts. She's a woman who speaks 4 different languages, including Mandarin. She loves to read, play video games, and have deep conversations, and she loves to meet new people. So welcome in, Pinky Promise.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Welcome.
I can't wait to meet you today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are sitting in, having conversations and meeting each other deeply.
Mm-hmm. This feels so nice.
Yeah. Good. Well, welcome in. And I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid off and go into our first question.
Okay.
Pinky Promise, where did your burlesque journey begin?
It began more than 2 years ago now. When I was doing pole dancing, one of the teachers, she talked about how she was trying to organize a burlesque show. And I wanted to support her. So I went to see her burlesque show with my ex at the time. And it was my first time seeing burlesque in real life. And I thought it was just so mesmerizing and so fun. It was a Christmas show, and I absolutely loved it. So I immediately went to see that person, and I said, like, oh my God, can I try? This feels like something I would definitely want to try at least once in my life, and then see if I want to continue on that journey too. And then I tried for the Valentine's Day burlesque right after. And as soon as I got off the stage, I was like, oh my God, this is for me. I want to continue. This is not just a one-time thing. And that was 2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, that go ahead, Bethany.
You go.
Just that feeling of when you're on stage and you're just like, no, this is not a one-time, one and done. It was something like that lit you up with inside, like your soul being like, this is where we want to keep going.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. I knew exactly that I wanted to continue and to push through with this.
Mm.
Can you expand a little bit on that feeling? Like, what exactly, was it that lit up inside of you? Like, what did it touch? Like, was it like a little girl that lived inside of you that you were like, oh my God, I feel like, what was that? If you could expand on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always done dance. That was one of the sports that it's the longest sport that I've done ever. I started at 3 years old, and I've done many competitions too, and I've been on stage often. And since graduating high school, I hadn't done anything like that. I wasn't in any plays or anything on the stage. So getting back on stage was so reminiscing and so nostalgic, but also so electrifying and so different. I felt so powerful, standing there under the lights and doing my own thing, showing up for who I am and being just silly and fun and sensual and graceful. It was just such an intense feeling, and it felt like that's a bit negative, but it felt like the start of an addiction.
A healthy
It's
addiction.
that dopamine. It's that, yeah, that healthy dopamine coming through.
Yeah,
Healthy
exactly.
addictions.
You know, you talk about grace and you talk about that electrifying feeling, and you know, allowing your silly nature, your bubbly nature to come out. Do you find that your dance comes easily with the arts that you have already been doing since you were 3, or do you like where do you find your dance, and does it come from other artists, or is it kind of like your own muse?
I really think it's within myself. I can listen to a song and a choreography will already start forming in my head. I used to do that in the shower all the time, like just listen to music and then create a choreography on the spot with the song. Um, so I think it's always been within me to try to choreograph something or just to see the dance that could accompany a music. Like really feeling the music within myself. So it felt really fun to finally showcase it to other people of what I can do and what I can accomplish, and just being really showing my art in a way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about the like gateway. Since we're talking addiction, we'll play on that. The gateway drug of pole dancing. Like, how did you, or the gateway experience? I guess. Did you? Was that like just something that like piqued your interest? Like, what actually like called you to that exact type of activity to begin with? Because then I think that's like the gateway into this world in a way. Like, so I'm just curious, like going back to like that moment in time, like what was guiding you in that direction, I guess.
Damn, I don't remember. It's been a very long time since my first time trying pole dancing. I remember I think I was still in university when I tried it. So that means like almost 10 years ago, at the studio. So maybe it was 2017 that I tried a pole dance class for the first time. And I think it was just because they had a discount and I wanted to try something new.
Yeah. Cool.
And I was like, oh, that sounds like very cool. And that sounds like something you can only do in a big city. And I was just like curious. So I took the chance to try. And I loved going to the gym and doing weightlifting. So I thought like, oh, maybe I could be good at that. And maybe it could be like a surplus for my weightlifting. And then when I went, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I love the environment. I love the body positivity. I love the empowerment. I love being surrounded by people who are silly and sexy and just want to be doing something good for themselves. And it's also a sport that is so individual. Like, there is no competition with anyone else except yourself, which I really appreciated it. It felt like a great challenge to try to always do better, but not get discouraged at the same time. And it's all for myself. It felt almost meditative in a way of trying to just do better, but just for myself, surrounded by other people who are doing exactly that too.
Yeah, Jacinda touches on that. Like I went to one of her burlesque classes, and she had talked about how this is an individual experience, but it's also like a collective too, where it is empowering. Like the empowerment I felt in there with all the people, they were just like cheering you on. They were loving what you were doing. To let out your sexy, to let out your silliness. It really comes down to an authentic. Oh my goodness, an authentatious. Oh, let's try that again, guys. An authentatious type of energy, like where there's it's beautiful to compete with yourself, like to compare to yourself. There, we don't have to compare. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you realize it's you. Like you want to show up for you. You want to be empowered for you, and then you want to help others do the same thing. So I feel that. I feel that so deeply. It's the empowerment is something just really special. Has there been times in your life where you've been around people that haven't been empowering, that haven't been supportive, and seeing the difference where that one part of, like, that one side of the coin, there is a lack of support versus people really wanting to see her shine?
Yeah, like all my life. Yeah. It's really difficult to find a place that is supportive of you and truly you, and not secretly being in the competition with you. Like in every field, it feels like jealousy is always there, or like they always want to strive better than you specifically. So yeah, that was my first time actually feeling in that community that took care of me also, and that was actually attentive and caring and didn't care about competition, didn't care about like doing better. It's not a patriarchal environment at all. It's empowering, which is the complete opposite. So yeah, it was my first time feeling really like, oh wow, this is a good environment. This feels really nice.
Is at the studio in Moncton. We have to like shout out to the studio because I feel it. I've heard others feel it. It really is a place where you are in safety, where you can be yourself, where people want to see that authentious self. So shout out to the studio. If you're in Moncton, guys, I highly recommend go checking out the classes and all that good stuff, because like when we do find that supportive place, we need to continue supporting it to let others feel that, because like you said, that competitive nature, that jealousy, it's all around, and it really is a deep fucking ingrained societal norm. And when you finally see, like, no, you can be someone's cheerleader, you can be someone's love, well, we really need to like showcase that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that you bring that up as a facet of the whole thing, of the whole, community, burlesque community, the whole, I like that that you're calling it a sport, because it's like, because I mean, in a way it is, and like in a way, in a way it isn't, like at the same time. But I love that analogy of thinking of it that way, and also thinking of it as like where, instead of being a part of this competitive team, you're in your own team, you're on your own team. And you have all your cheerleaders, which are your like sisters that are there, like just cheering you on,
Sisters and brothers.
Yeah. Which is so special. I think that is like really a cool thing to highlight about that experience in the community. Yeah.
I'm not sure I would describe burlesque as a sport, but pole dancing definitely is. Yeah, burlesque is way more like a form of expression.
Art.
Yeah, it's an art for sure, because you don't really need to do anything physical. You could just stand there and just
look sexy,
lip sync, take off clothes. It could be amazing too. Like it's an art form for sure.
Yeah.
So I would like to touch on, I didn't get to see your performance because you were after me, but we had chatted about your performance. So I'd love to expand on your performance, because it's an evolution of your first ever performance. So can you tell the viewers, the start and then the evolution, and what it has felt like witnessing that evolution?
All right, yeah, that would be great. My first ever show, so the first choreography that I did, the whole message behind it was with the lyrics of the song, "You keep telling me that I'm a princess, but I'm so much more than that." And I was just like getting outside of the box, getting outside of those chains, of those societal norms, that I'm not perfect, I'm not this and that you keep telling me. I am so much more complex and sexual and sexy, and I want to be myself. So for this show, the theme was kinks, just like this one 2 years later. So in the first choreography that I did, I had a cute lace dress, and I kept just walking a lot and dancing a lot around the stage. And then I took off everything that I had like all at once. Then I did a harness with rope bondage on my chest. And I went in the public, and whoever had received a paddle beforehand was able to spank my ass while I was walking around. So that was the whole show, just like showing who I am. And 2 years later, Jacinda decided, Cayenne Pepper decided to do another burlesque of kink for Valentine's Day 2 years later. So I said, oh my God, I want to do it again. And I want to do something that elevates that choreography, like the journey that I've had. But I wanted the message to stay the same of I can get out of these norms. I can get out of the image that you've projected onto me, and to show you that I am so much more, and that I am kinky, and that it's okay, and that I love myself and my body. So for this number, the first song I picked was very, very slow and loving a lot. The first words of the song is, I am beautiful, I know. And then it's very soft. It's from Mitski. So the song is like really not what you would expect at a burlesque show. And I come on with a PJ and with a sweater and everything. Just really like something I would wear at home, and that I still do, because I wanted to be as natural as I could, to show like another side of vulnerability again. And then I take it off really slowly during the choreography, and then I switch to ropes again but to try to elevate it, I did even more ropes. I did the full body harness that I did for my first choreo, but I also did a full fishtail rope bondage on all of my hips and legs. So I was completely bondaged up. And I also put on cuffs and bondage tape on my boobs. So everything was completely bondaged, and I did it all myself. And within like 2 minutes, I did all of that. So it was just an elevation of everything that I wanted to show in the first choreography.
Wow, that's cool to get that explanation. I know, because I was like, whoa, this is so crazy. I love it. And it's just like you don't know what the meaning is behind it, you know? And that's the beautiful thing, is you can take away whatever messages you want to take away from it. But it felt very artistic. It felt like it was a very big expression of your art and the message, you know?
Yeah. It feels like, to me, it's like, I don't know what flashes through my brain. It's just like, as you're doing this 2 years later, the evolution of your art, of your craft, of how you've grown, of what you've learned about yourself, of the depths, like it just keeps going deeper. So to me, it's truly like, I'm like envisioning you like doing this, but also like just reflecting on your whole burlesque journey.
Yeah, I really wanted to show more vulnerability and more kinky at the same time. So I elevated both at the same time, just to show like how much I've learned through my burlesque journey.
Wow.
And how much so comfortable.
Yeah. And so you just had another performance. You were at the St. John's show was it last weekend?
It was in, I think.
How did it go?
Wow.
How was it?
That was not long ago.
No.
It went great. It was my first burlesque show outside of Moncton, which is
Okay.
something that I've been wanting to do for so long, but
Very
never
cool.
had the courage to do. Um, I am really harsh on myself and I know it. So I never thought that my burlesque was at a level that would be appropriate to show elsewhere. And that's just an imposter syndrome that I have and that I know because my burlesque sisters kept telling me like, you should apply. And I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. And I didn't feel it that it was ready um, and I didn't apply either because for the St. John show, the person that does the St. John show that organizes it, she came up to me at Halloween after that number that I did, and she said, "You have to come to my show, and I want you to do exactly this number again. I want to see it again and again. So you better come to my show." So again, I didn't even apply by my own
Wow.
she just said like you have to come and I'm gonna force you to come. And I was like,
Takes you out of imposter syndrome right away. It's like, oh, okay, somebody sees me. They like my art.
that helped me a lot because I don't think I would have applied by my own accord. But the fact that she was so adamant of like you have to come and I want to see your number again, yours specifically, that helped me a lot. So still I haven't applied anywhere else but Moncton, but now it makes me feel like okay, I can actually do so much more and
A confirmation.
opened up like many doors.
Did you did you feel like that elevated you, like taking that, like do you feel like doing the St. John's show like really did, you really got over some of those like
Yeah, especially hearing back the video that they took of my number, I could hear as soon as the host said Pinky Promise, I could hear the public whispering and I heard so many people say like, "Oh my God, this one's gonna be nice. Oh my God, you've never seen that one. Oh, wait for it." And like I've replayed that video so many times.
cool.
First like 10 seconds of just hearing people whisper being like, "Get ready for this one." And I was like,
my gosh,
that is awesome. That's like probably people that went to Moncton and then live in St. John or went to the St. John with their friends and are like, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh man.
that's
Cool.
So it feels so good being like, oh my God, people actually want to see me.
That reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's amazing. That's really, and like before it even starts, it's dark and it's just like you hear little whispers. Very fucking cool. Oh.
Hear that on the stage, obviously, because I was getting ready to go on stage. But like hearing it on the video afterwards, I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to be in the audience when I'm on. It's so fun.
I love that. So as you've now like stepped into a show outside the city, where do you see Pinky Promise going?
I am finally ready to start applying for Halifax shows. I've never felt adequate enough to go to Halifax, but I've asked the question to many people and they're all like, yes, you should apply. You should try to strive further. And I think Halifax could be my next step. I want to continue applying to St. John too and doing everything I can in Moncton too, but I think Halifax would be my next step.
And to step into to lean in that a little bit more too, where does the art of Pinky Promise want to strive to go to?
I have still so many ideas and so many choreographies in my head that I have yet to actualize in real life. I have a whole note in my phone that's getting just longer and longer and longer with so many songs. I think I have like at least 10 songs and choreographies that I haven't even started on, but I just wrote like a bunch of sentences like this and this and this and this and this. At that part you do this. Or like an idea that's so strange that I would be like, oh my God, just expanding on that weird feeling and trying to make a choreography out of it. I want to do this. Because my numbers are completely different one from the other every time. I try to create something that makes me feel uncomfortable at first and then take it as my own as I go. Like, for example, all of my numbers so far were very centered around the lyrics and the message until I decided to do the Halloween Gremlin one, which is completely instrumental music, and it was slow paced, which my usual was fast paced, big choreography, like very choreographed up until the fingertips, and centered around the lyrics and the message. And then the Gremlin one, I decided to not do any of that. It was an instrumental music. It was very slow paced, and I left a lot of room for improv, which was a big risk. But I wanted to do something that was completely out of the box for me, just to try and see if I can learn something new from that, and if I can actually like another part of burlesque for myself. And then another Halloween one, the Jack in the Box, that was expanding on an emotion, which is rage, which is not seen often in burlesque because it feels completely opposite and counterintuitive to the sensual, sexy burlesque scene. And I wanted to do like, no, you are so much in rage that you rip off your clothes, which is going to be the same result, but completely different journeys throughout. And being a scary clown too, meaning that you don't want to entice the public, you want to scare them, which is again completely opposite. And I try to play a lot with concepts of burlesque with myself, and just to try to do everything that I can and see what fits and what sticks. But I think so far Pinky Promise has done with every show something so completely different that people don't know what to expect.
Right.
I've heard that this is the worst thing for branding, because when you try to have a brand, you need to stick with one thing and show that you're the best at that one thing and continue with that. And I don't want that for my art form, because I am such a complex human being and I want to do so much and I want to try so much that I want to use Pinky Promise for myself. And to just try as much as I can and discover many things, be everything that I can be, and show that all of these are still me. I don't need to be just this one thing and continue being this just one trick pony. I want to expand and do everything I can and then show people like, yes, this is all Pinky Promise.
And you know who it reminds me of? Sorry, you know who it reminds me of? You might not know him that well. You probably do. I don't know. I can't know how big Bob Dylan was up there. But like Bob Dylan was that's who he was in the world of folk. He was the one that like totally like radicalized it, but it was because he was such a deeply complex person. And, you know, I just think of how well it worked out for him. Like, he was like, yes. He totally shook that world and went electric and like did everything opposite of the folk world. And like, but like, God, he was incredible because of that. And so I think that we need to brand complexity and make that's the brand, like not just like one thing. We're just going to brand complexity.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, you were like out of the box. Like one of your dances was an out of the box. It's like, that's what you're putting yourself in these discomforting things, because when we're in discomfort, that's when you can see new facets of yourself and the complexity. Like, we're all complex beings. Like, if people, I've said it before on an episode, there's actually no box. It's just that society has put people in these boxes so that they're actually just not being true to themselves. So when you lean into that discomfort, like you've said you've been doing, that's where you learn who you actually are, because you realize oh, I put myself in a box because I said I can't go there, but hey, let me do something and let me just, whoa, this is who I am. This is what I can do. Look at this complex nature of who I am. Very fucking cool. Very cool.
Thank you for tuning in to Collecting Consciousness.
We're so grateful that you've been on this journey with us so far.
And we look forward to seeing where we are going to expand, curate, and collect.
So if you haven't already liked, subscribed, or shared our content, and you feel called to do so, we would so deeply appreciate it. From our souls to your soul, and our hearts to your minds. We are collecting consciousness.
This is actually the only trend that transcends every one of my numbers. As different as they are, it's always the same message of stop putting yourself in a box or a place where you feel uncomfortable and show yourself.
Yeah.
Just like getting, for the first kink was just getting out of your clothes and then showing your kinky side, but also like the Jack in the Box, literally being in a box and then going and running around the public and scaring the public, which is getting out of the box and getting out of those clothes too. I was also a maniac that kidnapped a Santa for Christmas, and just saying all throughout my choreography, I say like, why do you keep saying that I'm naughty? I'm not naughty. That's why I kidnapped you, Santa. Like, I'm not, you put me as the naughty on your list. I'm not naughty. And then it flips around halfway and I'm like, okay, if you think I'm naughty, I'm gonna show you how naughty I can be. And that's when the undressing starts. So that's again like accepting who you are. And I also did a werewolf one, to the song She Wolf of Shakira, which was a kind of coming out song too, because the more that I took off clothes and put on like the wolf ears and the wolf tail that was underneath my skirt, I also had bisexual flag pasties. So it was like a coming out song, just the same as like, oh, I'm coming out as a wolf for the public, but like, this is a coming out song.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like to show who you are through your art. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to do for yourself, but then to like let others see. It's a really you're really putting vulnerability in burlesque, like getting to know you right through here. I'm seeing your vulnerability in such a more layered way.
Wow, thank you.
No, definitely. It's deep. It's very deep, which I love.
Yeah.
I do love
Complex.
that.
Yeah.
That's why it was important for me also that like for the kinky show, the last one we did in February, that I would get on stage in PJs. I really wanted it to be like, this is me, this is the real me, this is vulnerable, and then showing the kinky side, which can be both at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
And like with your I want to lean into your vulnerability a bit more. Do you find like when you meet new people, are you like a person that wears your heart on your shoulders, or do you feel like you kind of like feel it out, feel your surroundings, and then you start to let out your vulnerability, your silliness, your quirkiness, or does it just come straight off the go?
I think it's half and half. I show my personality as it is to new people and then see how they react to it. But getting to know me can be a really long journey. Like I think I show vulnerability, but my real vulnerable side takes a couple of months to actually show, which can be the not bubbly person when I am actually sick or tired or I can't be happy at the moment and being like, I'm sorry, I'm just exhausted right now. And that to me is more vulnerable sometimes than just being the bubbly and loving person. It can sometimes feel like a persona because I know that I'm like this usually. So sometimes I will mask into this bubbly person, but it is actually who I am most times. So
Right.
I think that that's not really a full persona. It's just who I know that I am.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that's authentic. It's like, because we don't have, we're allowed to be tired, we're allowed to be exhausted, we're allowed to be those things. And I think, the bubbliness is just one facet of who you are. Your tired energy is also a person who you are. Like, I feel that deeply. I think that's true. Like you said, it's true vulnerability to be like, you know what? I'm not going to put on this bubbly, this normal, this bubbly nature of who I am, because today this is what I'm feeling. And then you're just showing people, this is who I am. And you're giving people a slow burn because, again, we're all complex beings and we're not always 100% on this type of way. We have multiple different emotions that can come through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I just want to rewind real quick and just like, where did Pinky Promise drop in from? We never really like focused on.
Yeah.
We never really, because we've been highlighting like where people's stage name lands and how it drops in, and so I'm just kind of curious, like, where did that come from? Where did Pinky Promise birth from?
Well, I've always been someone who does the Pinky Promise. If
Pinky Promise.
I am not, yeah, I am not.
He has a tattoo of it.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah, I am not a very trusting person. I have been hurt deeply multiple times, and because of that, I have a hard time trusting people. So whenever I feel or I think that I might think that they're lying to me or that they're not true, I do the Pinky Promise, and it's a form of reassurance for myself that like I can trust that person. They gave me the Pinky Promise. Whatever happens next happens next. It's like a small sign of just trying to calm my own doubts of you can actually trust someone else. It's okay. And it's not, and since it's like a childhood thing, it makes it feel like, oh, it's not a big deal. If they're lying to me, it's not a big deal. It's just, let's just Pinky Promise. It's cute, it's fun, it's childish. And it brings me a lot of peace, just that small gesture. So I've always done it with my friends and everyone in my life. Just like every time that I had a doubt, like, Pinky Promise, are you sure?
Cool.
Like, are you okay? And then they say, yeah, I'm okay. And just Pinky Promise.
Yeah.
And then they can be like, oh, actually, I'm not okay. You're right, blah, blah, blah. So I just didn't want to talk about it. Stuff like that. So it's always been important to me. And also the color pink is a major theme in my life that I really wanted to highlight. I've been pink in my hair for the past 3 years now. And I'm not planning on changing it anytime soon. I really love it. So yeah, I have also a tattoo of a Pinky Promise on my shoulder. I think I could show you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it is. It's cute.
Yeah, so I really like it. That's where it comes from. It's a Pinky Promise to myself.
I love
that. I do too.
Stay in integrity. That's really
Can
what.
we all Pinky Promise right now? Yes, I love it.
Yeah, Pinky Promise.
Oh, fun. Oh, Pinky Promise. It has really been a joy getting to chat with you.
It really has.
Me too.
I just have to say one thing to compliment your hair.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most beautiful pink. Like it was, I couldn't even just, I thought it was a wig. Like me and my mother-in-law, and then yeah, me and her, we were like, she's like, that was a wig. I was like, no, it wasn't. That's her real hair. That is her real hair. Like you had it flawlessly pink. Like it was insane. I mean, I admire it so much because color is such a, coloring your hair. It's another art form. To get it looking right, to keep up with it, to make it look, it just.
Yeah, my hairdresser, Maddie, shout out to her. She's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want her Instagram handle, I can give it to you because she's amazing.
Let's do it. I love the hairdressers. One of my best friends is a hair artist, and
that's true.
So we call them hair artists, and they really are when they are in their art and they know how to work with color and they know how to. It looks amazing. Like it's truly art. It's not just.
So many different forms of art.
Maddie Leblanc. I can.
Maddie LeBlanc. All right. I can Maddy or IE. Oh, MATT. Okay, cool. All right.
Oh, we'll drop her. We'll drop her in
Yeah,
there.
we'll get her. Yeah, cool. I love it. Little shout out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. Yeah. You are just so gorgeous. Like your skin was porcelain, your hair, everything about it.
The outfit was so cute.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I've got one more question for you. With your clothing, do you typically thrift things? Do you typically go to like lingerie places? Where do you typically get your burlesque gear from?
Yeah, usually everything is thrifted. Most of them were all thrifted and then tweaked with one friend that I have. Their name is Natasha Ashe. They make all of the seams being able to be torn off or things like that. There's only the Jack in the Box that was specifically requested to be a whole idea, a whole concept. So for that one, we took a couple of months to make it. Well, I say we, and they made all of it. They ordered
You're there for moral support.
Yeah, they ordered the fabric. They had the idea and just shot it through me, and then
Cool.
they made the whole 4-piece outfit, being able to be torn apart, specifically in some places that I had told them. Yeah, they're incredible. Seriously.
Cool.
We'll link them too as well.
Well, I was gonna say we're gonna link them too. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Very cool.
I just want to ask, like, is there anything relevant to your personal life, like that you want to insert, as far as like what you do off stage? If there's anything that you want to like offer, we've been keeping it like burlesque, but if there's anything about your personal life that you want to insert that, sort of ties in with your journey and Pinky Promise and.
Not sure. My whole life has been like a big roller coaster, and being able to do something for myself, taking the time for myself to. I feel like burlesque gave me an excuse to think more about what I want to do and to take time for myself, just to practice dance or practice an art form. It requires a lot of time throughout the week, and I think using that excuse of like, oh, I have a burlesque show coming up, helped me be more accepting of that, of I'm taking time for myself and that's okay.
Right.
Or also refusing to go out because, oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on this show. So it didn't make me feel bad, and it made me have a lot of fun with myself just alone at home. And I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care.
Yes.
It gave you an opportunity to be selfish, which we all have a hard time doing. I think it's hard to do that. That's beautiful.
Where can we find you? Where can we find Pinky Promise on social media?
Pinky Promise so far is only on Instagram. So it's at burlesque_Pinky Promise, all one word. And that's it so far.
Cool. Love it.
Perfect. That's perfect. Is there anything else that you want to share in closing about the burlesque, world journey? Any message you want to share with anybody?
In burlesque, I really feel that like I can truly see every person shine in such a unique way. And such a beautiful way. I feel like I can see everyone's creativity and uniqueness, and it's such an incredible world where we can be ourselves and be vulnerable while being like the most not vulnerable persona on stage. And it's such a fun way to bring something completely in your mind into reality. It's a very strange thing to do. And also very individual, because it's not like theater where you need to work with a bunch of people towards the same project. It's like everyone's act is their own little mini project. And I think it's so interesting, and actually it's fascinating to me.
Thank you. That was perfect. Yeah. I can see that. I can totally see that, how that would just be so enriching to be around that environment where everybody you do just get to see everybody be in their full expression.
Their shine, seeing people shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, burlesque truly is a beautiful art, and I am so excited to just like keep watching, keep meeting new people, keep seeing the art, keep doing the art. Let that art out, because there is no box. Let your shine out. Be authentic. Be vulnerable. Be you. It's truly, truly beautiful. And with that, Pinky Promise, thank you for letting your vulnerable out today. It has been lovely getting to know you. And I'll be seeing you around in the community. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a deep one, I think, and I hope that it inspired you to get a little discomforted, to feel that discomfort, because when you lean into your discomfort and do the things that your soul is like poking and prodding you, I hope you felt inspired by Pinky Promise. I know I did.
Yeah. Take yourself out of the box.
Yeah.
Take yourself out of the box.
Yeah. Get enraged, get creative, get all the art out. And till the next time, guys, the series is going to continue on. So stay tuned for next week's episode, and just stay tuned for who it is.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
Bye.